the fact just watching him grow up, so and watching the way he worked and whatever the challenge was in front of him, he always had the ability to rise to the top. So whether it be high school, Team USA in high school, then college, then the pros, each year just keep getting better. And even now, like he hasn't changed one bit. It's like he always wants to do better, and that's what I love about him. And I think that mentality is contagious for everybody. And he's never satisfied. He always wants to do more, but it's always within the context of the team and winning. So, we're asking him to do a lot, and he's doing a lot, but it's, within the context of the team framework.
How close is he to being at his peak? I mean, you look at guys like Giannis and LeBron, who were so athletically dominant. Once they got a shot, they were going to be unstoppable.
Yeah, and like even with those guys, I think that we all have the tendency of when we look at players to see them as they are now, today, and you tend to forget all the steps that they took along the way. And I think that that's sort of the nature of this league is, who has the characteristics that will allow them to continue to develop and get better. And some guys are driven to each year get better, and I think Jalen's one of those guys. And, I remember, like Giannis when he came in, you look at some of the younger guys that came into the league, Kevin Garnett, Kobe, McGrady, those guys, there was a progression to it. They weren't who they ultimately became, but we all tend to remember the guy at the end when he's the dominant player, and I think sometimes it's hard and it's a mistake to measure guys like that,
When you talk about the things you might clean up, but what are the things that you take from that game, conference-wise, that you hope to take to the next game?
Yeah, and again, like one game, I think the important thing is to look at the things you did well, and then also look at the things you didn't do well, fix those things, and know that, like, look, game 2 is entirely different. It's, you start over again. And so one thing has nothing to do with the next. And so we know we're going to have to be better. We're going to have to be ready. And we're going to have to play for 48 minutes against them. Well, I think that's the challenge that you have in the NBA in general, and oftentimes you have two guys coming from another team, or there's always newness to your group. And then the challenge is that's where your veteran leadership steps forward. And so the older guys are hopefully teaching the younger guys are hopefully bringing energy to the older guys, and everyone's working together and putting the team first. But I think the characteristics of your team leaders, that's important. Put the team first. And Jalen came in, and the way Jalen came in, he wasn't like talking to everybody about, hey, you got to do this, you got to do that. He just came in and he fit in first, and I think that's important. And then his leadership was by what he was doing. It wasn't by anything that he was saying. It was what he was actually doing. And then I think everyone comes in and they see that, okay, this is the way it's done. Let's contribute to the team and do it this way.
Do you marvel at the company that Jalen is keeping right now? And with the names, Jordan, Jerry West is doing things that only like the elite of the elite have done in this league.
Yeah, and sometimes you tend to, someone asked last night about, okay, what about Jalen? And I never take him for granted, because of what he's doing. But like I said, the thing that's impressive, it's always within the context of winning and his teammates, and that's always the most important thing to him. And I love his mentality, because his mentality is that he's not satisfied, and that it's great for everyone else to talk about that. But when he always says it is like when he's done playing, he'll look back and feel proud about whatever he's accomplished, and I love that mentality and that approach. I think that's what makes him who he is. But it's and right now this is what we need for us to win. Well, I think when you look at his season, he's had a great year, and I thought the way he came in many ways, similar to, he just came in and started working in the summer. So he hit the ground running at the start of the season, and then it's been a steady climb throughout. And then when we lost everybody, when OG went out, Julius went out, Mitch went out, Isaiah went out, we needed more from, Josh, Jalen, Dante, and then he embraced that, and he's run with it, and he's had a great season. He's very confident. He's put a lot of work into it, so I think he's earned that.
You had a stretch in the Philly series where he had a tough couple of games in a row. Did you sense anything different with him then? Did you just sense him?
No, and people have mentioned that about Jalen as well, and I think what you fall back on is the work that you put into it. And so, when I say Dante's very confident, when he shoots, he's surprised if he misses. So the next one's going up, and I love that about him. But it's not a false bravado because he puts an incredible amount of work into it. So he trusts the work that he's put into the game. And that's the playoffs are a fight. So just keep battling. Find a way to win in the end. Each game's different. So the challenge is to try to play for 48 minutes.